And here we are to fancy items number 2. The first thing I'm going to show you is the new manual. You remember last time we had a manual that showed you all the recipes for everything. It's a lot more condensed this time because we're finally running 1.8 instead of 1.7, and we can do this. So we can see the recipes in a little pop-up instead of putting them all in the book itself. And the first item we're going to look at is the Potion of Cobwebs and the sibling splash version of it. That takes a water bottle and string, and the splash potion takes the same plus gunpowder. To get a bottle of water, you just have to put sand into a furnace, and that cooks up into glass for you. And once you have 3 glass, you can make 3 bottles out of it. Once you have 3 bottles, just right-click on the pool of water, and you get water bottles. So now we can put this in here and put the string in, and we've got a Potion of Cobwebs. And likewise, in place of string, you can also use a spider eye if you want to. So if you prefer to spend your string on a bow or something like that, then you can use that. And so here we have the splash potion. So imagine you turn around and this cow is about to attack you. Throw the potion at him. Boom. Caught him in cobwebs. Now you have a chance to escape as he's stuck in them. At the same time, his teammate is trying to follow me to do his own damage. So I will drink this potion and escape this way. But what am I leaving behind me? Cobwebs! If you're running around with the Potion of Cobwebs, though, you should be careful about dropping down because, see, I just got stuck in my own cobweb there. If you're dropping 2 blocks like that, sometimes, whoa! Sometimes you'll get stuck in your own cobweb, and obviously that defeats the purpose of it. I can't remember if you get cobwebs for 5 or 10 seconds. But it's a nice little way. It makes it a lot harder to follow you if someone's chasing. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in the last game, if you put a water bottle and a spider eye in the same crafting grid, you got Hunter's Vision. That is, as I mentioned earlier, now replaced with the Potion of Cobwebs. Nobody really used Hunter's Vision last time, so it didn't seem that useful. So this just makes it a little easier to craft Potion of Cobwebs with either a string or a spider eye, whichever is easier for you. Next up, we have the Decoy, which, here it is. That is an iron chest plate surrounded by 8 pieces of redstone dust, which I conveniently have on me. So let's just do that. Here's the Decoy, my decoy. And oh, is that another player? Let's go get him. Ah! Oh, it's just another decoy. Well then, isn't that something? Looks just like me. And I thought it was a clone. So one thing that you should be aware of with the decoy is that he will move as far as 3 blocks away from the spot where you put him down. Now that's an area that's a square that's 7 by 7, centered where you placed him. That's the area he'll move around in. If he comes across a wall like this within that area, he's basically just going to climb up the entire thing. So here we saw him jump up on top of that wall as if it weren't nothing. The reason for that is because if there's a space, like on the other side here we have this, or we have these, we want him to move somewhat naturally. So we don't want him to stand in the middle of the block. We want him to stand on top of it. And he's very dumb, and he just jettisons up to the top of whatever's next to him. That's something you need to be aware of, because if you put him in a cave and he doesn't have a 7 by 7 area around him, then he's eventually going to step into the wall of the cave and leap up to the surface. You could use that to your advantage. You could distract someone with it. It'd be pretty funny. But more often than not, it's probably not what you want. So just be aware of that. We have chameleon armor, previously known as active camouflage. So chameleon helmet, we see a helmet in the middle there. Takes a whole bunch of stuff. It's all just dyes. We have red dye, yellow dye, light blue dye, white dye, or a bone meal, which comes from bones, which come from skeletons, and ink sacs. Plus, finally, redstone, and then, of course, the actual piece of armor. So in this case, the helmet, the chest piece, the leggings, and the boots. And I conveniently have everything on me. Ink sacs come from squid. You just have to kill squid to get ink sacs. Red dye comes from little red flowers. In fact, we can see those are bigger red flowers. They give you 2. Those ones give you 1. These ones come from yellow flowers. These come from bones and skeletons. And so these 4 are all ones that are relatively easy to get. I mean, obviously, you have to kill skeletons to get bones. And for the 5th slot, you can use any of these 3. Lapis, which you can get from underground if you want to. If you don't want to go down that deep, then you can get either green dye from cactuses. You put cactuses in a furnace to get green dye, or light blue dye. And light blue dye you can get from these little blue flowers that only spawn in swamps. So we can see there's a whole bunch over there, these flowers here, that only spawn in swamps. So now that we have a full set of chameleon armor, let's go try it out. To begin with, it's all going to show up as gray, and once the boots get a color, then they imbue that color onto everything else. So if you're running around in the plains like this, then you can still hide. Otherwise, the boots and the leggings pick up whatever's next to them, and the helmet and chest plate pick up the block above. So in this case, we are gray with that. This is the same gray. Or we can blend in with this one, that one, that one. We'll also blend in the snow biomes, or if you're on ice, or if you're in the ice plains, then you'll pick up that. You can blend in with dirt. If you're next to the grass dirt, it still shows as grass. But if it's actual dirt, and in this case it's coarse dirt, but whether it's coarse dirt or regular dirt, there you go. And there's a couple other Easter eggs in there. If you happen to find them, you might be lucky. That's how chameleon armor works. And the final new item we've got for this one are crumbling blocks. In this case, I'm going to show you crumbling stone. That takes smooth stone and a stone pickaxe in the middle. They're all the same. This one takes stone bricks with a pickaxe, sandstone with a pickaxe, and dirt with a pickaxe. Once again, fortunately, I have stone on me. It doesn't matter where it goes. You can do as many as you want, up to 4. And obviously 4 is the most efficient, and that gives you crumbling stone. So I just made a few more here. Let's go test them out. So all you have to do is place them, but be careful. You don't want to step on it yourself. Has a faint texture that shows it's crumbling when you step on it. This is what crumbling sandstone looks like. This is what stone brick looks like. And this is what crumbling dirt looks like. I have one last thing to show you, and that is easy looting. What's that? A chest instead of a pile of items? Oh, I forgot. I am also a ghost now because I was technically playing UEC. Whoop. And here we have my head and also a golden apple because technically that was a player kill. There you go.